Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to live stream on this channel, We Humans. And today we're going to talk about the history of the electric guitar. So before we get started, please subscribe and like this video. That helps us a lot. And I want to I want to let you know that I'm not alone. I'm with the Mysterious Voice. How are you, Mysterious Voice?
I'm good.
How's it going? Are you ready to talk about the electric guitar?
Yeah, of course.
The history of the electric guitar. So yeah, it's been a while. We don't do much on this channel, but we're gonna start doing more. And we're going to talk about different things, like history of different things. So that's very exciting. I'm really excited about that. Okay, so you like guitars, right? We love guitars in this house. We have some in the background.
Yeah.
And what do you like more, electric guitars or acoustic guitars?
I like electric more.
Electric more?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I think that was like the thing that got me into liking guitars was music that used electric guitars. So, I mean, that's kind of my first experience with it, like with music in general.
Right. Yeah. So you played electric guitars first.
Yes.
Okay. Would you recommend people to play electric guitars first or learn how to play electric guitars first?
Whatever you want. I mean, like if you like the look and sound of an electric guitar more than acoustic, play that. If you like acoustic more, play that. I mean, if you like banjo, play that. I mean, it's just...
It's up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, it's totally, it's completely personal preference, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I love electric guitars. I think they're awesome. They're the sound of it, or of an electric guitar, is amazing. It's loud, and I love that. I love that you can get loud. But let's talk about a little bit about electric guitars first, and then we will talk about the history of it. So electric guitars obviously come from acoustic guitars. Okay, yeah. So the body, the concept of, an acoustic guitar and an electric guitar, they're pretty much the same. They're pretty popular nowadays, and even like long time ago, very popular. The difference, there's a big difference between acoustic guitars and electric guitars. I know there's a bunch of differences, but the main one is that one has a hollow body. Yeah. That's the acoustic guitar, and the electric guitars, they have a solid body. Yeah. Do you know why exactly that is?
Well, the acoustics have the hollow body because there is no output. So when you strum the strings, the sound resonates inside the body, and that's what gives you a more full and rich, like louder sound.
Okay.
There are hollow body electrics as well, but the majority, it's just like the solid.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so this instrument, the acoustic guitar.
Oh, sorry. For an example, hollow body electric is that Fender right there that we have.
The one.
Because it's an acoustic electric.
Okay, yeah. But nowadays you get different things, Yeah. You can have an electric guitar or acoustic electric guitar, right? But we're talking specifically about the solid body electric guitars, okay? Because that's something important in history. It was something really, really vital and very important for sure. So acoustic guitars were first introduced in America as the Spanish style guitar, right? So it's pretty much like probably the classic Spanish guitar, right? The strings are completely different. I think they're made out of nylon.
Yeah, nylon strings,
Yeah, So that's very, the sound of it is also very different. It's crazy. So yeah, all guitars are pretty much made the same, or they follow a simple template. All guitars, acoustic or electric, they have a bridge, a body, and the neck. So that is very important, right?
Yeah.
The only difference, as we were saying, is that acoustic guitars are hollow and electric guitars have a solid body. For years, the guitar in the past, acoustic guitar was more like supporting musical instrument in different bands, I would say.
Yeah.
So, and that was because of the volume.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a band or a group of people playing different instruments, playing an acoustic guitar is loud. That's loud, but it's not as loud as other musical instruments.
Yeah. And
like
also,
a trumpet, for example.
Exactly. Yeah, playing
right?
with different like volumes of instruments. If, for an example, if you're playing with somebody that's playing drums.
Exactly.
And if you don't have a microphone sitting in front of your acoustic guitar, no one's going to hear you.
Totally, no one. So that's why the acoustic guitar in the past was something more for supporting. It had a supporting role. Now, people like guitar players were not that happy about that, so they tried to do. They wanted the guitar to sound louder. They wanted some greater volume. So different people in the past, inventors, were attaching wires, magnets, and other pickup attachments. Do you know what pickup attachments are?
Yeah.
What are they?
These fellas right here.
Those fellas?
Yeah.
Well,
it's just like wires and magnets that basically increase volume, resonate more.
Pickups are electromagnetic devices that increase volume.
Yeah.
So, however, back then, it was not that good. The sound was not perfect. So, I mean, they tried, and I think that's the beginning of the electric guitar. And in 1930 or in the 1930s, newer versions became more complex, and the electric guitar became a solo instrument. So that's pretty cool that in 1930 or in the 1930s, the electric guitar became a solo instrument. So they didn't need more people. Although I don't think you need more people when playing acoustic guitar.
No, I think what they mean by solo instrument is that it stepped into its own spotlight. It wasn't just you're just strumming chords and backing up the rest of the band. Right. Now
it was more important.
Yeah, you get to step forward and show off.
Okay, so yeah, and that's crazy that everything started in the 1930s. And also I find interesting that people wanted more volume. I want to hear my guitar like from here up to, I don't know.
No.
How long? Like what distance would be necessary?
I mean, depends on what you're playing, right? Like you want to be heard in the entire place block. You're playing. Well, I mean, if you're playing inside of like a loud bar and people are talking and dancing and, having a good time, like you want people to be able to hear you.
Right. Exactly. Nowadays, I remember Lemmy.
Yeah.
And you told me that his concerts were extremely loud.
Yeah, Motorhead, I don't know if they still do, but they had the Guinness World Record for the loudest concerts.
Goodness.
Yeah, like I think...
That's crazy.
The one in the documentary about him, they show like when they're recording like the volume and it was like 130 30 something decibels or something
My
like
God,
that.
that's very loud.
Yeah.
That's very loud. That's crazy. Nowadays,
Yeah.
you can do that, but before, man, I don't think so. Okay, so the earliest electric guitars were made technically in the 1920s and 1930s. Okay, so in between that time or those years, but they were very primitive. They didn't look like the ones that we can buy nowadays. So the first electrified guitar was said to have been invented by Paul H. Tutmark. Okay, Paul H. Tutmark, uh, and he was inspired by the telephone, the ancient telephone. Nowadays we have cell phones that do pretty much everything. But it's very interesting how the old telephone worked. Do you know?
Not off the top of my head, no. It's been a while since I...
So those old telephones, they used magnetics to create vocal vibrations. Okay? So Tutmark, sorry, I'm butchering the last name. Tutmark experimented on the Hawaiian guitar. I think that's a very peculiar looking guitar. And he built a magnetic pickup out of horseshoe magnets. Do you know those magnets? Are those they look like specifically like a horseshoe?
Those like magnets that they used in like old cartoons that were like
that they were red and
and then had like
gray,
the white or gray at the tip.
That's crazy. And also he used wire coils that amplified the vibration of the instrument string. So strings, not only one, but strings. So that's crazy. Technically, he was the first one, Paul H. Tutmark, the first person who electrified a guitar, which is amazing to me. Amazing. So around the same time, in the 1930s, I believe so, George Beauchamp and John Dobiera, they were two people from Los Angeles, and they were musicians as well. They worked on creating, they were working to create an even louder guitar. So they were not happy with what they had currently. So they just wanted something louder. And they experimented with different things. They attached horns to instruments. I wonder what kind of horns.
I wonder if it was like just like a horn, just like the bell, basically the cone on top of like an acoustic guitar. So when you strum, it like sends the sound through the cone.
Yeah, maybe that's crazy. I don't think that's practical though.
No, God, no. And also just to quickly give you an example of how loud a Motorhead concert is. So 130 decibels is the volume of like a construction jackhammer. Yeah, so 140.
Wow.
So 140 decibels is an airplane taking off. And they were like in around like 134, 136.
So it was more than that.
So they were louder than a jackhammer and almost as loud as an airplane taking off.
Oh my God, that is crazy. Yeah, I would not like to be
in the front row.
The front row. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much. It's like you can feel probably your heart vibrating.
Yeah. There's a reason one of their like mottos was everything louder than everything else.
That's crazy. Anyway, so George Beauchamp, I think that's the right pronunciation, Beauchamp, and John Dobiera, they came up with everything, like they attached horns to the instruments. Also, they developed an electromagnetic pickup. Okay, so as I said, this had horseshoe magnets, and they were really happy with the result. Beauchamp had a craftsman make a guitar designed with a wooden neck and body, and the name of this guitar is the frying pan. Okay, because of the shape, it looks like a frying pan, and I have a picture of it. So that is the frying pan, my friends. And yeah, it looks like a frying pan.
Yeah.
It looks like it's made out of metal.
Yeah, it looks like steel or something, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Apparently, it had a wooden neck. Maybe that was a prototype or something
Maybe,
like
yeah.
that. So then this is technically the first official electric guitar. Isn't it crazy? You
Yeah.
can see at the bottom like
Yeah,
the
that's
the pickup
yeah.
or what they invented, right? So it's crazy. It's crazy looking, and you can't play this guitar standing up. You have to put the guitar on your lap, and then you play it.
It's just like a lap steel guitar.
Yeah, exactly. So that is crazy. I like it. I kind of like it, and I don't think they're expensive nowadays to get one of these guitars. Like, I'm not sure how much. Probably a few hundreds. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure there's like cheap models of everything nowadays.
I don't know how many there are out there, like currently. I'm not sure. But that's not the most expensive electric guitar from the past. So Beauchamp took the prototype to Adolf Rickenbacker. You know this last name, Rickenbacker. And the two men then came up with a company, or they formed a company and began manufacturing the first of the famous Rickenbacker line of electric guitars. So technically as well, Rickenbacker became the first manufacturer of electric guitars.
No?
So technically they did that. So it's very impressive because Rickenbacker, I know them because of their bass instruments, the bass guitar. But not for the electric guitars.
Their electrics
do they have that?
They do. They still make the electrics. They're not as popular as like Les Pauls and you know, like Strats and stuff like that, but
right,
like they were big in the like 50s 60s. Like the Beatles played a lot of Rickenbackers.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. And yeah, that was a long time ago. So they also had a Spanish style electric guitar, and I think that's more of a hollow guitar. And this was built by Lloyd Loar. And he also was another inventor. His design was the direct predecessor of the modern electric guitar. So that's why we have to mention this. And also, this inspired Orville Gibson. It's Orville, right? Orville Gibson, and another big last name.
Yeah.
Orville Gibson, and he is another guitar pioneer, and obviously created an electric guitar model that was like a groundbreaking thing in the guitar world. So this guitar is the ES 150. So this was made by Orville Gibson. So let's try to find that. ES, what was the number?
150. 150
guitar. Let's see how this guitar looks like. So it looks like, I think this is the one.
Yeah.
It looks very like a jazz guitar, or something like that. Wow, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks like if somebody released a guitar looking like that today, it would fit right in. Like it looks like a modern guitar.
Yeah, totally. It was a big step from like
Yeah,
the frying pan to
huge.
this. That's crazy. And I think the body's hollow too.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful guitar. And I think this guitar is very expensive.
Mhm.
Like very expensive. So yeah, this was the ES 150. So the next thing about this is this person Alvino Ray developed the prototype of the ES 150. So it was technically under the name of Orville Gibson, but Alvino Ray developed Alvino probably Ray developed the prototype. So he was the one that came up with
So
with the
Gibson
guitar.
is the company, and he was just a developer.
Right. And that guitar that I showed you is the first modern electric guitar. The first electric guitar was the frying pan, and this one was the first modern electric guitar. And, the final version of this guitar was built by Gibson, but by a Gibson employee, Walter Fuller. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. A Gibson guitar was the first modern electric guitar. So yeah, this was a very, very successful guitar, but it had some flaws. Like the vibrations from its hollow body were picked up and amplified, so that it didn't help. The sound was not clean, so that created some feedback and distortion, so that's not good. But this helped because Les Paul, a guitarist and inventor, developed a solid body electric guitar in 1940.
Yeah.
So that's crazy that, okay, someone else did something, but it's not perfect. So someone else needs wants to perfection
to improve on it.
improve what it was created. So yeah, Les Paul, I mean, that's something big in the guitar industry. Les Paul. Yeah, right here. Right here. So yeah, that not this guitar, but he developed a solid body. So no hollowness. Hollowness, is that a word?
Yeah.
No hollowness. We needed a solid body electric guitar. So that's why I started talking about solid body guitars and hollow guitars, because this solid body electric guitar was like something crazy and important in history. Okay, that, as I said, that happened in 1940. That's a long time ago. Okay, so Paul's innovation, which was called the lug. So let's try to find that one, because I'm intrigued. I want to see what the lug guitar looks like. So let's try to find it. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. There's a picture of Les actually with it.
Paul?
Yeah.
That's a huge guitar, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's so big. Man, it looks kind of heavy too. So it looks pretty similar to the previous one, the ES 150. Yeah. But this one is not hollow. This one is a solid body guitar. It looks like the bottom
the top and bottom is hollow, but the middle where the pickups sit is a solid piece. So that's why it's called a log, because it's like a log with...
Oops, sorry.
Yeah. So basically the outside is just for comfort and decoration, essentially.
Right. So you could play just the middle.
Pretty much, yeah.
The sides. That's crazy. Wow. That's crazy, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool for sure. So this was called the lug guitar. Okay, so yeah, this guitar had a solid body and it involved mounting the strings and pickup on a solid block of pine to minimize body vibrations. So yeah, you were right. It's just like the important thing is in the middle. So yeah, that's a crazy guitar. I don't know if you can get one nowadays, like if you can buy one of them.
I doubt it. Probably like collector's items and stuff like that.
Yeah, so for sure, the solid body of this guitar proved that it was effective in eliminating the problems of the ES 150. So yeah, that was like crazy. That changed everything. It was a game changer kind of thing. So in 1946, Paul took his new guitar, the new Gibson guitar, the Lug, who was skeptical about the solid body, and Leo Fender, here's another big name. Leo Fender, however, understood the conception, and in 1949 he started selling the Esquire. Huh?
Esquire.
The Esquire, which became the first successful solid body guitar. Should we Google that one?
I know what it is, but yeah.
Esquire. What year was it? I forgot. 1949.
They'll all look the same.
Really?
Yeah. You'll see.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I see. So that's the guitar?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, I know this one. They didn't change
Nope.
that model, huh? Wow, this is the one that you love.
Yeah.
The Telecaster, right?
Yeah. So that was the first.
Wow.
That became the Telecaster.
That is
Later on.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful body. All solid, as you can see.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like the Lug, right? The guitar was later renamed the Telecaster. And do you know why they used that name? You were telling me something about it.
So they named it originally, so after the Esquire, they made the Broadcaster because TV was becoming popular.
Okay.
So Leo Fender decided, because he liked the concept, so television and stuff like that, so he named his next guitar the Broadcaster, which he only made a small amount of because he got sued by another guitar company. I can't remember, because he already had a guitar called the Broadcaster. So then what they had to do is, to finish that run of guitars they were doing, they had to remove the name from the headstock.
Oh, and those
were called the no-casters. So they would, because normally on the headstock it would say like Fender Broadcaster. So the other ones would just say Fender.
And you said that John 5
has one,
an original one, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then after the no-caster, they had to come up with a new name. Mm-hmm. So to stay in that television theme, right. Telecaster.
Yeah, it's crazy how companies like some theme, for example, Apple. They liked the operating systems.
Yeah, they're all named after places.
Yeah, but before it was animals.
It was animals before. Now it's places. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the snow leopard?
Yeah, leopard, snow leopard, lion.
Leopard.
Yeah.
Now it's like
Big Sur.
What's the last one?
Big Sur.
Big Sur?
Yeah, that's
no
the newest
way.
One. Yeah. It's a place.
Where?
I don't remember where, but
somewhere in America?
Yeah, I think so, but it's it's a place.
That's crazy. Anyway, so the Telecaster became extremely popular with country music, in country with country, blues, and rock and roll musicians. So that's crazy that the Telecaster was popular among country musicians, blues musicians,
Yeah.
and rock and roll musicians. That's
Well,
crazy.
well, I think it's because it was the only solid body
Yeah,
on
and
the,
it
on
looks
the market.
very practical too.
It,
Like
it is,
easy
yeah.
to take everywhere,
Yeah, it's
and it looks beautiful too.
it's a
Handy.
it's a
Handy guitar.
slab of wood with strings on it. Like it's
Is it? It's more than that.
but
the shape,
but at the core of
it's
it,
refined.
it's an incredibly simple instrument.
Yeah, it's like a minimalistic
Yeah.
kind of guitar.
Yeah, it's
I like it.
no nonsense, no bells and
Exactly.
whistles. It's just a electric guitar.
Yeah, I like that for sure. Uh, and then the Gibson, well, realized that the Telecaster was like very popular, so they came up with their own solid body model, and that was the Les Paul. The Les Paul.
Yeah.
We need a Fender here.
We do need a Telecaster.
Telecaster, yeah, but those
Soon.
are
Well,
expensive.
it depends on which ones.
I don't know. Like, can you name one that is cheap, or how much?
The Squire 1950s Telecaster is $559
Wow. Well, American dollars,
Canadian.
Canadian. Well, it's not bad. It's not bad. We should get one.
Yeah, you should. You don't have to convince me.
Yeah, I know that. In 1956, Rickenbacker introduced the student model Combo 400 guitar, and this is called the butterfly style body. Or
See what it looks like.
yeah, let's Google that one. We like to Google
Why don't you
here.
just look for Combo 400
Combo 400.
guitar.
Oops.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh wow, it looks like a butterfly, kind of. Right?
Yeah.
That is, yeah, you can see the Rickenbacker.
The classic
Brand.
headstock, yeah.
Wow, I don't know what to think about this body, to be honest with you.
It looks very 1960s. I'll say that much. If you asked, if I didn't know anything about it and you showed me that guitar and asked me when do you think it was made, 1960s definitely.
Yes, for sure. It looks kind of, I don't know, rough. Like, this one looks okay, but I don't know, the shape is weird.
Yeah.
It looks like a tulip.
It looks unfinished,
Yeah, it looks unfinished, for
but
sure.
yeah.
Well, that was the butterfly body kind of guitar. I don't know. I don't know. But that was in 1956, close to the 60s. Yeah. So yeah, it's an okay guitar, I would say. Not my favorite one, but yeah, that was the one that Rickenbacker came up with, and it's like those. I wonder if it says the student model. So it sounds like it's like, hey, get
Like
your
an entry level kind of
entry
thing.
level
Yeah, it could be.
guitar. Yeah, just like the ones that you can get for $100 or $200.
Yeah, oh my god, Les Paul Juniors or whatever they're called. They're like $190 or something like that.
My first guitar was an Ibanez, and I paid, I would say, $150, and it included. Oh, you need to plug. You unplugged your microphone. So that included the amp. The amp.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
I don't know. My first guitar, we still have them. My first was a Epiphone by Gibson Flying V.
Wow.
And I didn't pay for it. I traded my brother's acoustic guitar for it.
And do you remember what the acoustic guitar, like the brand?
No,
like
God,
the
no. I
brand
think it was like some cheapy Yamaha or something like that. It was like a very, very beginner acoustic guitar.
Yamaha
Yeah, but
guitars are pretty good.
Yeah, but they make a lot of like really cheap ones too. It was like my parents bought it at like I don't know.
Walmart.
That wasn't when Walmart wasn't around back then. But maybe like the Sears catalog or something like that.
Really?
So it was like
I remember.
So it was like $100
Oh my
guitar.
God.
Yeah, and I'm kicking myself because when back then I didn't know anything about guitars at all, so I just knew I wanted an electric guitar. And a friend of mine had the Flying V. And then he said, he's like, oh, I have an electric guitar. I have two. I want to get rid of one of them and I want an acoustic. So I said, I have an acoustic that I don't want. So I'll trade you. So he comes to my house and he's got two guitar cases. And he opens the two and one of them is the Flying V. Uh-huh. And the other one that I'm kicking myself over right now is a Fender Stratocaster.
Oh, what color?
It was the red and white, like the
red
classic,
and white, the
yeah.
classic
But it was a
one.
Fender Stratocaster.
Wow.
And I am kicking myself because I took the Epiphone over to Fender.
You should have taken both.
So one would be significantly much more worth it
Valuable.
now. Yes. Because the Flying V is worth like $170 maybe.
Now.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Whereas the Fender would be worth, I don't know, like probably over 1,000.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
But whatever, I got it for free.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm not mad about it. It's just
it is what it is.
That's right.
Okay, well, by the 1960s, the electric guitar was already a thing. And I was like an established musical instrument. And then in 1961, Gibson introduced another guitar, the humbucking. Humbucking?
Just the pickup. The type of pickup.
Sorry, the pickup. And that was added to the Les Paul guitar. Sorry, it was not a guitar model. That would be an interesting name. But yeah, this pickup was added or just attached to a Les Paul guitar that were designed to eliminate, unwanted hum.
Yeah. So that's
from the magnetic coils.
Yeah. So that's those pickups that are in our guitars here.
The two?
Yeah, both of them. So any of these like.
the top and bottom.
Yeah.
Are those the ones?
Any of those wide ones like that, that's a humbucker because it has two. If you take that plate off, it has two pickups like side by side.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And I mean, if anybody has a guitar at home, if you have a like a Stratocaster and a Epiphone or a Gibson, the easiest way to tell the difference between single coil and a humbucker is just plug it in and crank up the volume.
Oh.
And you'll hear the single coil, the Fender. You'll hear the feedback.
The
Strats
right?
do, yeah. Like you'll hear that single coil, like the feedback. Whereas with these ones, you're not going to hear it.
That's why these Gibson humbucking pickups are so important.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. So the same year, in 1961, McCarty introduced the ES335. ES. And you know what ES stands for?
No.
I believe it is electric Spanish guitar.
It makes sense because it does look like the Spanish guitars, the classical.
So let's Google that ES335. Sounds very robot-like.
I think it's like the one that like Chuck Berry played, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Really? Oh my God, it's beautiful. That's sexy. Look at that.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Wow.
They're big.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like they're really big guitars.
I like the red color. They have also the table guitar. Sorry, I just call it table guitar because it looks like a table to me. I'm not sure why. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize if you like that kind of color. Or was it wooden? Starburst?
Burst, yeah.
Burst?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this one. That looks beautiful. Yeah, it looks quite big, the body.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh my. And it must be heavy. It must be heavy. Yeah, for sure. But that's the Do you remember the name?
ES335.
ES335. And this is a semi-hollow body guitar designed to incorporate the best of both the hollow body and the solid body designs.
I wonder what
The
how it
sound?
does that, because like
Yeah.
you'd think that like Les Paul's first guitar, like the log, that's technically a semi hollow body
Yes,
because it has the
yes.
two hollow ends. So I
Uh-huh.
wonder if it's the same like that or if it does something different.
I'm not
I'm
sure.
curious
I'm
how
not
that
sure
works.
about that. But Gibson and Fender, they both always had, or they introduced futuristic looking designs as well around that time. The Gibson SG and the Fender Stratocaster became familiar to everyone because they were frequently used by rock guitarists in the 1960s. So that is crazy. Should we Google the SG?
No, because
Fender?
it's right there.
Oh, is that that's the SG? I'm sorry, I don't know
Yeah.
about guitar models too
Yeah,
much.
that's the SG.
So that's the SG right here,
Yeah.
the black one. Yeah.
Right there.
This beauty, it's very light, very, very light, beautiful. So that's the SG and the Fender Stratocaster. I'm pretty sure you know which one we're talking about, but just in case, because we don't have a Fender
Yeah.
guitar here, we can show you the Stratocaster, which is, this. I think the red and white is the most common one. That's a classic one.
It's like I
I
know
like this one, the
when
white
I
one.
was a kid.
Off white,
Yeah.
kind of. Is it green? Like the middle?
Ish, kind of.
Green-ish?
Yeah, like when I was a kid, I thought that was like the only guitar that existed.
Yeah, me too.
Because every band around, everybody on TV, like every band that I listened to at the time that I saw like a video of, they all played Strats. Like it was like Iron Maiden, like all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Until I saw Guns N' Roses.
Oh yeah, with
And
the
Slash has the Les
guitar,
Paul, and that's when
yeah.
I was like, oh, there is other.
Gibson. There's
Because
more.
I like I said, I love, like, Fender's great. I love Telecasters more than like any guitar, but I hate Strats. I just don't like the way they look.
Yeah, me too.
I really don't like the way Stratocaster looks. I don't know what it.
Telecasters look
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, me neither. Me
So
neither.
like, so when I saw the Les Paul, I was like, oh, there's like, that's
Yeah,
way
it's-
better.
Yeah, I remember I didn't like the Les Paul either. The Les Paul guitar. I liked. Which one was the one that I told you that I liked? I forgot.
Oh man, I don't remember.
And I forgot because now I like the Les Paul guitar. I like the body. Those two bodies, the Epiphone, this one here,
SG.
the SG and the Les Paul, both look beautiful to me now. I'm in love. But before I was more like, I didn't like the Stratocaster. But I mean, I didn't hate it. As you said, I thought it was the only guitar out there.
Yeah.
When I was younger. But now, like, come on. There's so many for sure. Okay, so let's move on. Now let's talk about the materials, okay? And why, just briefly about the materials that are used for making guitars. And they're important because, as you well know, they use wood, well-seasoned hardwoods, such as maple, walnut, ash, alder, and mahogany
Also
for the
rosewood.
solid body.
Oh, for the solid body. Yeah.
Okay, for the solid body. And that's important because the denser the wood, the better sustain an instrument will have. And sustain refers to how long a note can be held.
Yeah.
So if you have a dense wood guitar, it will hold
resonates
the note
longer.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Longer. So yeah. Also wood density can be important because it can affect or creates an effect on the tone. Okay, so the
Yeah.
density is also important because of the effect on the
Yeah,
tone
different
in
woods
general.
sound. Yeah, for an
I didn't know that.
yeah, go for an example. If you play the two acoustics that we have, like your Epiphone and then my Fender here, the Fender sounds a lot brighter,
Right. Yeah.
and that's the type of wood and also the
The
size and shape.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a lot like
Yeah.
the low notes are a lot higher.
Yeah.
You
For
know?
sure. Yeah. Silence. Okay. So that's, yeah, it's important to know about how dense the wood is and how, just the density, right? Because that affects the note and the tone. Notes and tones. Note and tone. Some bodies are also made out of plexiglass. I didn't know
look
that.
one up. I want to see.
Plexiglass
I wonder
guitar.
which one it is. Yeah.
Let's try that one. Plexiglass. Isn't that something that cars are made out of?
Yeah.
Let's see. Plexiglass guitar.
Oh, okay, that. Yeah. Okay, I've
so-
seen some of those.
Wow, that is crazy.
That's kind of cool.
It's like,
Oh, you know which
what?
one is plexiglass?
Look at this one, like yours,
yeah.
but plexiglass.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What were you saying?
The
Alex?
the Telecaster that John 5 has with the green liquid inside it.
Is that plexiglass?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy. Looks kind of cool. Look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Wow. That's crazy. So this is not common, but it's happening. It's happening.
It's there, yeah.
It's
That's
there.
kinda cool.
It's there for sure. If we're talking about the neck of the guitar, it's also mainly made out of wood, and the wood is maple, rosewood, and ebony.
Ebony. And
Ebony.
then there's also now they use like cheaper versions of that kind of wood. So there's like Indian laurel and like there's a couple other ones like that are like
Ooh.
Indian laurel is basically like a cheaper version of ebony.
Wow, that's crazy. And for the painting, or the painting part is commonly they use nitrocellulose lacquer for finishing the body. So do you remember the videos that you watch about this guy painting
love it.
the guitar bodies?
Yeah,
That's
oh my
crazy. Do you want to give it a shout out?
Yeah, I think his channel on YouTube is Jay Nelson or something like that.
Jay Nelson?
Yeah, it's his name.
Nice.
Yeah, he's just a Fender employee who
Ooh.
posts videos of his
On
like
Instagram or?
Instagram and YouTube. Like
And
he does it on YouTube too, and he talks about the process of painting them and like why you do what and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really cool. And it's honestly, man, it's like watching Bob Ross. Like it's just so relaxing.
I love it.
Yeah, it's so relaxing.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the design. So the solid body electrical guitars guitar gets its volume from the magnetic pickup installed within its body. So yeah, that
Yes.
the bottom part. And the way it works, I think I mentioned this before, but the pickup responds to the vibration of strings, transforming the energy into electrical impulses that are amplified by a loudspeaker system called an amplifier. So that's important.
Yeah.
When we're talking about electric guitars, you need an amplifier, so an amp.
Yeah.
For the best sound, the pickup needs to be stable and and unaffected by vibrations from the body. So that's why it's very important to talk about the body and why it's solid and what they use for that, right? So that makes the difference. But yeah, it's crazy how a solid body is better. Well, nowadays, I don't know.
It's for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
but in history, it was important, the solid body of a guitar, just to get a better sound and overall just a better quality of everything. Of everything. As I said, the solid body increases stability, and early electric guitar makers discovered through experimentation that guitar bodies made of high density wood or hardwood worked best. So it's crazy. If you go to a store and you say, hey, can you tell me about the body? What wood is this? What wood did you use? And that would be a pro question, right? Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're going in to buy one, you should probably, if you're asking those kind of questions, you probably already know the answer.
Yeah. You can Google it.
Yeah.
Right? But it's nice. It's like I remember when we went to the Apple store. I don't know why I'm talking about Apple so much today. But we went into an Apple store and we had a question about, what was it, an iPad?
It was, when you were getting your iPad Mini.
iPad Mini, yeah. And what was the question?
So because their displays show like no information whatsoever other than the colors and the hard drive size, so I wanted to know more about like what specs they were, because the iPad Mini just came out. It wasn't really known what it's going to perform like, how good it is, blah blah blah. So I just asked the girl how much RAM it had, and she was like, oh, it doesn't have RAM. And I was like, what? Like, it has to. No, because this runs like the operating system, like the phone. So it's not like a full computer, so it doesn't have RAM.
But you need RAM for running an operating system.
Anything, phones have RAM. Yeah, and that's when I left.
Oh my God, that was. And she sounded so confident. Yeah,
yes,
so confident.
Confident in her ignorance. There's a subreddit called Confidently Incorrect. Yes.
I love it. Oh my God, I need to join that.
It hurt.
Oh my God. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the future. I have some information about how manufacturers moved away from traditional shapes and colors as well. So that's fun. Yeah. So now you have something more fancy, like Fender Stratocaster. And the Gibson Flying V, the one that you...
Yeah, if you actually look up...
The Flying V?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that Gibson makes specifically the Flying V.
Yeah. There's other companies that make that shape now, but that was the 50s Flying V.
This reminds me of Metallica.
Yeah. Like the funny thing is, when the Flying V came out, if you go to the brown and white one, the table one, as you would say, that was like the original Flying V, and they sold like crap.
Really?
Yeah. They did not sell well at all.
Why?
Yeah, they're
Because
super popular now. It's just I don't know what it was about it, but they apparently did not do well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but if you look up red 1980s, no, like search type.
Okay.
Type 1980s Epiphone Flying V.
Epiphone Flying V.
That red one, that's mine.
What?
Not the top one there.
Sorry.
No, you can just click on
this one.
Yeah. That one is like the one that I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Actually, it's more like the one that's, I think...
The white one?
No, the one underneath the red one.
They're all red.
The underneath the picture, it's selected. There's like 2...
Oh, this one?
No. Go back to the other one. Go right. Move the mouse right. Move it down. That one.
This one. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly like the one that I have.
So, like the neck looks so short.
Yeah, it's not. It's 22 frets.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a nice looking guitar.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to fix it, right?
I need to fix the nut on it.
Mm-hmm.
It broke.
Okay, so now let's talk about a little bit about the future of electric guitars. Okay, so there are changes that they're making because the electric guitar is constantly evolving. You know, like it's changing, and they're changing. And nowadays, they're changing the design, the materials, pickups, or also other finishes. Some guitar makers are looking to bodies, or they want bodies made out of plastic or graphite. That's crazy. Plastic, I don't know how to feel about that. Plastic.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but I mean, it would last forever.
Yeah. But it's
maybe
just,
if they use like they recycle plastic, that would be pretty cool.
I don't know, like plastic just to me sounds like a cheap.
Yeah.
You know, like it
you
wouldn't.
Can't like.
It
know.
put, I think plastic to me, especially when it comes to something like a guitar, it would have no personality.
Maybe it depends on the design. I think.
It's still like, I think once you get into plastic, it's cheap, mass-produced, kind of generic crap.
Yeah, they also want to see if they can do a hollow, semi-hollow bodies as well. Just going back to the past, right? So inventors have been trying to apply something called piezo to guitar pickup or amplification. So piezo is a material with piezoelectric properties. I don't even know what that means. But if applied correctly to a musical instrument, it senses vibrations or changes in pressure. For a guitar, it could be applied in a contact microphone, or it could be placed on the guitar itself, where it would sense guitar vibration. Ultimately, it could enhance the sound of a guitar. So I'm not sure. The only guitar that I've seen that has something different, I don't know if it's this piezo, but the lead guitarist from Muse, like he has a quite interesting guitar. Let me Google that. Let me see if I can find it. And it's, I don't know, it has like some sort of panel.
Oh, that's cool.
Something here, and I'm not sure exactly what it does, this part over here, but he does something with that. And I remember I saw it, and because I saw them, like I went to one of their concerts, and it was quite crazy to see how he was playing this guitar. So yeah, I don't know what that does. I'm not sure, but it looks interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of
right. But yeah, John 5 also has like peculiar guitars.
Yeah.
Like he plays like 5 during a concert or more.
Yeah.
5 different guitars. That's very crazy. And lastly, another futuristic thing is the 3D printing of guitars. Okay, so they have they're coming up with software, some sort of software that has attracted the attention of Gibson and other guitar companies, and pretty much this 3D software, would free designers from the limitations of two-dimensional planning and allow them to create complete three-dimensional designs before the manufacturing process began.
So it's basically, instead of having to have blueprints of the guitar, you can just have like a 3D model made
pretty much
and ready. That's kind of
I don't know why they took forever to do this.
Because that kind of technology has been around for a long time.
They make dentures. I remember, they use like 3D software for 3D model, for dentures.
Architecture, you have like AutoCAD and stuff like that. So why
not guitars?
Yeah, that's really strange.
Come on. So that's the last thing about the history of the guitar, from the beginning up until what? The future.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I'm not sure how I feel about plastic guitars.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Piezo, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know what that is, but I mean,
what that is.
If it ain't
some crazy material or pickup, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But what do you think so far about this whole thing?
It's really cool.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a frying pan guitar, just to add it to the collection, and a Fender guitar, for sure. Telecaster.
Well, like I said,
maybe in the future.
5/59, and my birthday is next month or 2 months.
We'll see. But I just remembered, just quickly, I'm just gonna mention this: the Bill and Ted guitar, the futuristic-looking guitars from the first movie, I think, that they had no top. The top part was not there.
There's no head on it.
Oh my god, I hated it.
There's a company called
hated it.
There's a company called Traveler.
Okay.
They make all kinds of like compact weird guitars like that.
Really?
That's like their whole thing, is like making weird shaped guitars, and
That's crazy. Anything else that you would like to add?
Nope.
Well, if you like electric guitars, I think you should not leave it in the corner. You should try to learn and play it or practice. And that's so nice to do. Like, it's my therapy. It's my therapy for sure. And don't give up.
Yeah,
I mean, don't give up. Because a lot of people who start learning how to play a guitar, they get all excited. They get a guitar, expensive or not, and then they try to play it for, I don't know, a month or less, and then they forget about it. And that's like the saddest thing.
Yeah, you just have to go on like Kijiji or something and type in guitar and look at how many starter guitars, like the packs that come with the amp, like the tiny little amp, like the $300 combo thing. How many of them are on there? And it just shows how many people just give up.
Giving up.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I get it, but you're gonna suck for a long time. That's cool, That's fine. As long as you know that as long as you know it's a process. It's not. It's like learning to drive, or to ride a bike, or to write, or to speak another language.
Like, it's a skill. Yeah,
it's a skill that you're only gonna get better at by doing it.
Yeah.
And you'll have days where you are worse than the day before. That happens. I forgot how to hold a pick for like 6 hours.
6 hours?
Yeah, it happens. Like, I just forgot how to hold a pick one day. So I spent like 6 hours watching YouTube videos and reading articles on how to properly hold a pick.
And you know what? Besides practicing and all of that, learn something that you love. Any song that you love. Forget about, oh my god, I have to learn all the scales and I have to learn this shitty song that I don't care about.
You don't need to
learn something
Mary
that you really love. Yeah, exactly. But that's it for today. I hope you like this video, and if you did, please give this video a like, or give it a like, because that helps us a lot. And we're gonna try to do more of this, be more active on this channel. And because it's fun to talk about history and how things started. Everything started. Okay, well, take care of yourself. Have a great night or morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we'll see you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Adios. Why did I say adios? I'm so used to the other channel. Anyways,